Hey, what's going on? This is Jim with Dent Vet's PDR Training. Today we're going to be looking at how to glue pull sharp dents like this one. Well, like that incredibly good looking gentleman just told you, today we're going to look at how to glue pull sharp creases. That's right, we're not using any kind of pushing tools, we're glue pulling this whole thing. I'm going to be real with you, this is not the most exciting video that you're going to watch, but it is a skill that is incredibly important, and if you don't have it, you lose. You're going to be using tab weld glue today. I find that it is great in most temperatures and humidity environments, if it's not too hot or too cold. The tabs that we're going to be using are going to be Anson root beer tabs, available at anson.com, and Keiko tabs. I believe this is the Black Ice edition. They're square, they look funny, but they work great. When glue pulling sharp dents, it is a very, very, very repetitive process. So we're going to be pulling these things up. What you're going to end up with on your first several pulls is a volcano. As you can see here, you have a sharp low surrounded by highs, just like a volcano. That's why I'm calling it that. Well, Jim, how the hell am I supposed to take care of that? Well, I'm here to tell you, you're going to soften the edges. So just like when you're using a slapper tap or anything to knock down the pressure or crowns around a dent, we're doing that with our knockdown here. We're going to take away the pressure that's surrounding the middle of that dent to keep it from locking in. The more pressure that we can take away from the center of that dent, the more likely it is to want to work with us. Every kind of glue you use is going to have a little bit different characteristics. I found that with tab weld, 8 to 12 seconds is a great amount of time to let that dry. It's going to keep it from getting too brittle or too soft to pull. If it's too soft, obviously you're not going to get a whole lot of action out of the dent. If it's too brittle, it's not going to come off in one piece, and that is a huge pain in the ass. Every time you put a glue pull on this kind of dent, all you're really looking for is progress. And this is where, just like in most aspects of paintless dent repair, patience is key. If you try to get way out of hand and glue pull too much too soon, you're going to cause a huge mountain that is a real ass kicker to knock down. So, as you can see here, I'm knocking around the edges of this dent, just softening up those crowns to make that middle a little softer and a little more willing to play ball with us. All the while, I'm trying to avoid directly in the middle. If I misjudge where my knockdown is hitting, there's a good chance I'm going to make the middle of this dent even deeper. So just like everything else, I mean, I know you're hearing a lot of the same things over and over again. Accuracy is so important. One thing that makes this particular dent very unique is that there are two distinct impact points that I just pointed to there. Something maybe a little bit forked hit this. Now, one thing you'll see when I'm knocking down here is that I might roll through the middle of that, and the reason I'm doing that is I am trying to make those two sharp low points into one. That gives me half the amount of stuff to worry about, so I'm just working with one, we'll call it a super low, as opposed to two. Another important thing to remember is that don't overfill that tab with glue. I see so many people using huge puddles of glue. It doesn't really need that. As long as it's covering the tab when you squish it down a bit, you're gonna be fine. You're just wasting glue if you're making these huge pots. When you're knocking down this kind of damage, or any kind of damage really, you wanna make sure that you are moving a lot. Your head, the way that you see the light, is of the utmost importance, because if you do not move your head, now watch me up here, I'm getting ready to change angles here in a second. What's going to happen is you're going to be fixing this thing from one angle. Alright, so I know I just said angle several times in a row, and that's annoying, but what's going to happen is you're from one way it's going to look great, from another way you're going to realize that you missed all kinds of shit. Problem with that is you're going to feel all good about yourself, and you're going to think that dent is fixed, but you're going to look at it in your cross check, which I'm sure you're all doing, and you're going to realize that, hey, I've got like another 50% of this whole entire dent to do. Because of the repetitive nature of glue pulling sharp dents, I'm going to go ahead and skip some parts. I'm going to speed some of this video up. Just watch how the metal moves, and please take note that there is progress. Even if it's slow, It's happening. That dent is getting a little bit softer every time that I put a glue pull on it. If you have also taken the time to like the Dent Tools Freak page, you might notice right now that I'm using my Keiko mini lifter as opposed to the Lift Right. So with the Lift Right, I really enjoy doing top panels with it. That's trunks, hoods, roofs, that kind of thing. But when I'm doing side panels, I still find it a bit more ergonomic to use the Keiko Robo Lifter. It's pretty solid. It's served me well for years. I would definitely recommend whatever's inside of your budget, but the Keiko is a great option for a mini lifter. So I have been waiting to make this announcement, but the truth is, a video like this takes me 4+ hours to edit, plus the amount of time that I spend extra doing the dents. So unfortunately, this will be the last free lesson that I am able to give to everybody. But don't freak, I have created what I think is going to be the best online learning system that the dent world has ever seen. Basically, you are going to be able to choose a la carte whatever lesson that you want, and it's going to be even more in depth than this. What I'm currently working on is Dent Repair 101, so that is a course for everybody. But what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to tailor the kind of training that you're looking for to the part of the industry that you would like to be in. So you want to be a hail guy? That's great. I was a hail guy for a long time, and I could show you exactly what you need to know from the business side to the repair side to be a successful hail repair technician. And that goes for every aspect of the industry. So what I'm hoping happens is that people who come to me for one-on-one training are they're going to have a really good baseline to start out with. So you're not going to have to spend 2, 3, 4 weeks with me. 1 week to get me to pull you through whatever's hanging you up is going to be enough. So it's going to save you a ton of money, it's going to save you a ton of time, and you're going to be able to practice at home. And I'm going to outline exactly how to do that. So what you just saw me doing there was I was knocking down the crowns with my blending hammer. As this dent came up, I noticed that there were some waves and some crowns, and right now I am trying to wipe off those 2 impact points with a little bit of compound on a rag. Completely unsuccessful. Eventually I will go ahead and use my buffer to get that off of there. But now, as you see, I have switched over to the VIP. That's the version 1. That's right. That's the first one they came out with because I'm an OG. Knockdown, which is a great finishing knockdown. It gets you very, very precise hits on the panel. And as you can see, I'm kind of doing a figure 8 panel. Excuse me, geez. A figure 8 pattern through there. So I'm trying to knock down the area between those 2 impact points that was affected. Again, so my final pulls here are going to be successful. Please allow me to take a minute to say thank you to everybody who has liked and subscribed this channel. It means the world to me. I really enjoy helping people become better technicians. So many people have emailed me, messaged me, said, you know, I watched your video, I saw the light, it really made sense to me. Like I said, this is going to be paid content from here on out, but the cost is going to be so minuscule. As opposed to paying, you know, $10,000 to $18,000 for 2 weeks of training, I'm going to be able to get you a baseline for $200. And you're going to be able to look at where would you like to go within this industry, and I will be able to tailor make a training plan that's right for you. When you come and train with me, obviously that's going to be additional cost, but it's going to be cut in half or better because you were able to make it through my video series. Now, truth be told, I only believe that maybe 10% of you will take yourself seriously enough to invest that first $7 to $12 for that video lesson that's going to get you started on a career. But that's okay. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money off of the videos. Fact of the matter is, if I spend 10 hours on one video, I'm just trying to get paid back for my time. But that 10% of you who is willing to invest in yourself and invest in your future, I think that you are going to experience the best training system that has ever been brought to the internet, who has ever been brought to aspiring PDR techs. In 15 years, I have made such a great career out of this. I am a former Marine with no formal education of any kind and several 6 figures. So I'm talking not 100,000, but 200,000, 300,000. I've been able to do that year after year after year with this industry. And now it's my time to teach you how to do that as well. I'm going to have a live stream where I want you to ask me any questions that you have, and I'm going to go over exactly what the game plan here is, and I'm going to show you how affordable that this is going to be for you. So for the 10% of you who are ready to ditch the daily grind, ready to make something more of yourself, ready to see that income that you've always wanted, man, I really, really, really look forward to helping you get there. This is the only job in the entire world that I could ever imagine myself being in. It gives me an artistic outlet. It's wonderful. So hey, everybody, please stay tuned for the live stream. It'll probably be sometime this coming week. Ask me anything. Ask me about the program. Ask me about dents, what I've already covered. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you all so very much for subscribing to this channel. It has absolutely made all of this worth it. Again, thank you.